Hey, Shalom Israel. My name is Officer Abel,
And Officer Gideon.
and I'm about to go into something that a lot of people don't really know about. It's called compassion fatigue, because this is something that happens. I know that it happens a lot to nurses, doctors, cops, things of that nature, but guess what? It also can happen to you. All right, so first we're going to start off with the definition. So somebody pull that up, the definition of compassion fatigue.
What?
All right, read that for me.
Yes, sir. What is compassion fatigue? Compassion fatigue is a term that describes the physical, emotional, and psychological impact of helping others.
See, I want y'all to hear that part, from helping others, because a lot of stuff you're gonna do in this truth. You are a servant. When you're in leadership, you are a servant. So you always helping others. You typically, to be in leadership, you're supposed to have your stuff together already. Your family's supposed to be on point. Your wife's children, all that's supposed to be on point. So you out there helping others. All right, you bring it back up.
Often through experiences of stress or trauma, compassion fatigue is often mistaken for burnout, which is a cumulative sense of fatigue or dissatisfaction.
All right, so stay up. You can keep that up there. Hey, this is the thing. When you burn out, it's just one of the things that go into compassion fatigue. Because usually when you like something, you ain't going to burn out. You're not going to burn out. You keep your spirit high, you're not going to burn out. But, you know, over time, you start burning out. I know over here we go to count almost every day. You know, it don't matter 365. We use it, you know, almost every day. We might be one day because of a feast or something. We out there. You know what I'm saying? Go to the examples and triggers. Examples and triggers. You scroll down, should be some bullet points. Right there. For example, start it right there.
For example, therapists may be affected by compassion fatigue through the experiences and stories of their patients. Some examples of common compassion fatigue triggers causes are.
So here we go. We're going to go through a list of some of these things. And I know a lot of brothers are going to be like, yeah, it ain't just leadership. Like some of us been going through this our whole lives. We've been going through this our whole lives. Some of us, especially, I know when you like the older brother in the single family house, single mother, single father, mostly single mothers, as we know. But when you're the oldest person, the oldest brother, the oldest sister, you might be going through these things where you just like, man, I can't wait till I get out of this house. Like when I'm 18, I'm gone. But here we go. Read that first one.
Providing therapy that introduces you to extreme or severe situations. Being physically or verbally threatened when providing care.
Wait, stop right there. Because we all been to camp before. We've been to camp. And what do people always try to do? Well, I ain't gonna say always, but especially when we start trying to get brothers to marry sisters, it can get physical out there. They throwing stuff, they spitting at you. Some of them be wanting to shoot. We seen people fire gunshots at our brothers. And I missed something on that first. We said providing therapy that introduce you to extreme severe issues.
Right.
When we are counseling brothers and sisters and they talk about these extreme issues, you get to a point sometimes you're like, all right, here we go. Here we go again, another one with the same issue as last time. And you know what I do? It's starting to, it can cloud your judgment a little bit. Because you guys sometimes, trust me, sometimes you like, yeah, I heard this before. This ain't my first radio. But then sometimes, you got to take it individually, see what the individual is doing. But it's called compassion fatigue. You like, sometimes you be like, man, you know what, y'all handle that, man. I'm out, man. I don't feel like talking about this again. But let's go to the third one.
Being confronted with suicide or threats of suicide by someone under your care.
Being confronted by suicide. And this going to another thing when people in the congregation deal with stuff like that. They be like, oh, I'm depressed, I'm this and I'm that. You know what I'm saying? And actually, I'm gonna get some scriptures on that. The depressed ones. You know what? Then I'm gonna jump back up. But let's get down to Sirach 38:18. It started verse 18. And the reason why because this is pretty much what it is that when compassion fatigue, it's nothing really wrong with you. You good. But everybody that around you, everybody that you got to talk to, they're not good. To a point that you be like, bruh, just do your job. Even when it comes to your subordinates, and do your job, man. You're like, oh, here we go again. Brothers ain't doing their job. You don't want to hear nothing they got to say. I don't care. If I had to hear what you got to say, then I got to hear what 20, 40 brothers got to say. Just do your job. No compassion. You don't even, sometimes you like, I'm not even doing it. I'm not talking about it. You know what I'm saying? I already had to talk to my son today. Like, I'm not doing it today. But go ahead, man, if you got it.
Yes, sir. Sirach chapter 38 and verse 18. For of heaviness cometh death.
So you always depressed, guess what? You are going to, you shortening your life. You shortening your life, you always depressed. All right, read on.
And the heaviness of the heart breaketh strength.
That's why you always see the brothers that be struggling with something. You can see it a mile away. They come in here moping and walking around. I don't know. It reminds me of some characters from the old cartoons, and they always had that music playing in the background, boom, doo 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 doo, and they just moping around. You're like, man, sit up straight, man. Walk like you got some purpose, man. Walk like you're a God. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Let's jump to verse 20, man.
Yes, sir. Verse 20. Take no heaviness to heart. Drive it away. And remember the last end.
Remember the last end. We get in the kingdom. Hold out. Keep the faith. You get in the kingdom. Hold out to the last end. That's all you got to do. Go back to the WebMD. Go back to the WebMD for a minute. You know what? Read number 2 again. Read number 2.
Yes, sir. Being physically or verbally threatened when providing care.
Now, you know what? I'm going to let the Bible speak. Go to Matthew 10, and let's start at verse 22. Because something that we got to understand, like, when you out there, it's always somebody that you're going to try to overdo it. You got to show their manhood. And then sometimes that brother ain't always on the other side of the signs. Sometimes that brother is standing next to you. The brother that got those count muscles. I got big count muscles. It's time to, I'm like, brother, who are you teaching? Are you teaching everybody? Or are you trying to make them feel worse than what they was already feeling today? Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't get it. Yeah. I'm like, what we out here for, man? Just to embarrass? You came to this neighborhood and embarrass everybody here? Is that what we came to do? Right. Or we came to teach them? But read it if you got it.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 22.
There we go.
And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
So we already know that we're going to be hated because we teaching the true Christ. Not Caesar Borgia, I'm talking about the true Christ, the black Messiah. Read on.
But he that endureth to the end.
He that endureth to the end, like we just read. Read.
Shall be saved.
Shall be saved. You will get the kingdom for everlasting life. Read on.
Verse 23. But when they persecute you in the city.
They persecute you where?
In this city.
When they persecute you in Orlando, in Atlanta, in Tallahassee, Jacksonville, Miami, I can name a bunch of them. When they persecute you in the city, read on.
Flee ye into another.
Just go to another part of town. Go to another city. Keep on teaching. Read.
For verily I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come.
Yep. We got a lot of work to do until the Most High, till Christ comes back. Don't even worry about it. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Judge the situation according to that situation. I ain't trying to say don't use wisdom because you've already seen it. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is just because this city treated you like crap, like you're reading here, and you had to flee from it, don't go into the next city like, look here, you crackheads are soft, or you drug dealers, y'all soft. You're like, what? Hey, bro, like it's like 30 people over there. It's 4 of us. Like, why are you talking to them like that? Right. Like, you know the brothers in them camp muscles, you be looking at it like, bro, if they come over here and fight us, when we all said and done, man, you're gonna have to get at it. We gotta have a face to face, man. Matthew 18 after this, bro. Like, what is wrong with you, man? Brothers, you gotta be skilled. Hey, good, let's go back to that WebMD. Yeah, the 4.
Providing care in dangerous environments.
Gotta be in the ghettos. We be in the ghettos. We be in the slums sometimes. Sometimes it'd be like, be iffy to me, I guess, because of where I grew up at. Around a poor neighborhood, too. Some of the neighborhoods don't be that bad to me. But, we go to places. We've been to places that as an hour after we leave, people get murdered. Those are the type of places we go to try to wake up our people, to try to fix our communities. So we provide the care in dangerous environments. So you're going to a dangerous environment when you try to make sure all your gear is there. When you try to make sure the camp equipment is there. You try to make sure that you got your medical equipment is there. You try to make sure these things. Make sure you doing it with all your might, man. You know what I'm talking about. Yes, I know a lot of brothers that a lot of accounts that deal with that. You go out, you like brother, you only gave us that many flowers. That's what you was prepared with. Like you didn't bring no extra batteries, man. Yeah. But what you think we were gonna do? Sit out here for 30 minutes? But let's go on. Let's read on. I don't want to go all the way into that. You know what I'm saying? But you see, go to provide care. Providing
care?
Yeah, go ahead.
To someone who experiences depression.
Providing care to someone who experiences depression. I don't know about you, but I've been around people that was like, they say they dealing with depression. Before long, you be like, nah, you just want attention. You're like, man, get out my face, man. I ain't really. That's how you start treating them, because you're like, all right, that is over, man. And then it's true. We're going to look at you like, yo, you have all this leadership and this Bible, this faith in front of you, and you're not using that? Like, come on, bruh. Actually, let me get someone that. Get Deuteronomy 32. 33 and 29. I got to make sure I said that right. I don't know if I've been saying them wrong or my Georgia accent is throwing you off a little bit. No. Deuteronomy 33 and 29.
Yes, sir. Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 29. Happy art thou, O Israel.
Happy. Don't worry, be happy. I ain't seen the whole song. Read on.
Who is like unto thee?
Nobody's like unto us.
O people saved by the Lord.
Because we have the Lord on our side. Right. I don't want to just keep singing songs. But if God is on our side, I don't how they say it? Say if God is on my side, I won't hide. No, I don't have to hide. You know what I'm talking about. Benjamin's song, man. You know what I'm saying? Those my jams right there.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, the Lord is on our side. Happy that you should be. You should be happy because you one of the only nation that has a God. You are a part of that nation and you're depressed. Get it together. That's all I can say about that. Get it together. Give me 1 Peter 5 and 7. Get it together. Oh, God of Israel, your nation, but you depressed. you have a God, you depressed. Read.
1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 7. Casting all your care upon him.
Cast all that care upon him, whether you, and then you got a body, you got congregation. So you put in work, the congregation gonna know you. The congregation gonna make sure you're all right if you put in the work. So you cast all your cares to God. Read on.
For he careth for you.
Because he cares for us. See, that's why he put us around the people in the body. You know what I'm saying? So when you need something, guess what? Cast all your cares on the Lord. Now give me Acts, Acts 4?
Acts chapter 4, verse 34. Neither was there any among them that lacked. For as
you see that? Neither was there any among them that lacked. They didn't lack. They was a part of a body. Read.
For as many as were possessors of lands or houses sold them and brought the prices of the things that were sold.
You see that? They gave alms. They knew they had to help the body. They gave alms. Read.
And laid them down at the apostles' feet, and distribution was made unto every man according to as he had need.
You see that? So they gave it to the leadership, and then they distributed to the people that had that need, that was lacking, that was poor. They had compassion on those people. You got to understand that. That's pretty much what it is. They had to have some kind of compassion. Love thyself like you love. Love others the way you love thyself. And I ain't trying to say I know some people go out the rip. They'll first day out of school, they'll go and take some stranger home, driving in the car for an hour and a half with some stranger. Then they find out this ain't the type of person you want in your car. I'm like, I ain't talking about doing no madness like that. Actually, get your rock 12 and 1. When it comes to the people that you're supposed to be helping out, if you don't know a person good enough, then you won't know this about them.
Mm-hmm. Sirach chapter 12, verse 1. When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it.
You got to do what? You got to know?
Know to whom thou doest it.
You don't do good. You don't know him. You're like, hey, I don't know you like that, man. You might want to go up to the leadership and ask them. And then when leadership don't know you, guess what leadership going to be like? Brother, you only been here for 3 weeks. You already asking us for something? It is what it is. But read on.
So shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits.
Guys, guess what? You don't know that person. That person might going to take that money. You ain't going to ever see him again. Read on.
Do good to the godly man.
Do good to a godly man that you know. Read.
And thou shalt find a recompense.
Then you're going to find a recompense. You know what I'm saying? You're going to, you do good and you get good. You get the good back to you. Read on.
And if not from him, yet from the Most High.
If they can't repay you, you're going to get your repayment from the Most High. Read.
There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms.
No to him that is not willing to help anybody else out but himself. Brother don't have no compassion. He don't care what's going on in anybody else's lives. Because his life is cool. All right, man, my life is good, man. I'm good. Dang, bro, you don't got nothing. You can't get another job or something. Like, that's what ended up happening. Now, I ain't talking about the brother that's coming over and over and over again. Nah, that brother need some different type of help. Money ain't gonna help that brother, obviously. But I'm talking about the brothers that just fall on hard times. You don't never see that brother needing money. And all of a sudden they need money, fall on hard times. You gotta have a little bit of compassion on your brothers. Don't take that brother and mix him in with other brothers that do crazy stuff all the time. All right. I'm trying to think. Should I get? Yeah, I'm gonna get that one. Give me. I think it's what Sirach 29. Sirach 29. I think verse 1. We can start up in verse 1.
Sirach chapter 29 and verse 1. He that is merciful will lend unto his neighbor, and he that strengtheneth his hand keepeth the commandments.
So, obviously, this is a neighbor that you know about. So he's going to strengthen his neighbor. Read on.
Lend to thy neighbor in time of his need.
Now, if you want to lend to a person, do it. You can do it. We can't, just don't put it on us as the leadership. That's between you and that person. You want to lend them some money. You understand? So this is going to, if you lend your friend some money, no matter, probably need help with a bill or whatever, and they went to you instead of coming to leadership. All right, here we go. Read on.
And pay thou thy neighbor again in due season. Keep thy word and deal faithfully with him, and thou shalt always find the thing that is necessary for thee.
Because if that brother, that sister is righteous, and you helping them out, and they do good by it, then you good. You understand? The Most High, I take care of you. You ain't gonna fall on hard times because I know that you will deal right with the people. The Most High gonna take care of you. Read on.
Verse 4. Many, when a thing was lent them, reckoned it to be found, and put them to trouble that helped them.
You see that? They'll put you in trouble. Like you lend to the wrong person. Mm-hmm. No. They gonna start coming at you wrong. You like, hey man, you gonna pay me back for that? Dang, man, you always on me, man. I get you your money. they coming at you like you the runner did them wrong. You're like, what the hell is going on here? Read verse 5.
Verse 5. Till he hath received, he will kiss a man's hand.
When he need that money, he's the nicest person you ever met. He kiss your hand and get that money. Wait, read on.
And for his neighbor's money, he will speak submissively.
The most submissive person you will ever meet is when a man or a woman need money, especially those really good ones, those beggars. They became professional beggars. shoot, they'll say some stuff make you feel good about yourself. You like, yeah, I gotta get this person some money. Read on.
But when he should repay, he will prolong the time.
You be like, man, I don't got it, man. I don't got it. Give me another month, man. Give me another week. Read on.
And return words of grief and complain of the time.
You see, you like, man, that's too early, man. Come on, man. You know I don't get paid to this time. I got this going on. I had to take my daughter to the hospital. They just start saying whatever random thing they got to say to keep you to feel bad for them to extend the time when you want your money back, even though y'all would have already agreed on it. And that's one of the things that would stop you for helping out the next person. Because when that happened to you a couple of times, I know that happened to some people before. Guess what? When people need a little money or whatever, they're like, nah, I don't care. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I can't trust people like that. And they own up. They say it's everybody, but that's not what the law said. Deal with it individually. That's what I'm trying to. That's the whole thing about this class. Deal with things on an individual level. Right. Now, I'm not saying that you don't learn from your past, because that would be the dumbest thing ever. So you learn from the people that did you wrong, but you can kind of see the signs. You're like, oh, you know what? I don't trust this guy. I've seen those signs before, but I'm gonna hear him out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hear him out, but I seen this before. You know what I'm saying? But let me see what else we got. Verse 9. Read verse 9 real quick.
Yes, sir.
Start at 7. Go to 7.
Yes, sir. Sirach chapter 29 and verse 7. Many therefore have refused to lend for other men's ill dealing. Compassion
fatigue. Brother be sitting on $1 million. You're like, I don't care, man. This dude disrespected me. And he look like the next person that's gonna disrespect me again, this man, right? Read on.
Fearing to be defrauded.
They be fearing to be defrauded. They don't want to be the next guy. What that saying about fool me once? Shame on me, fool me twice. I mean, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what they're going into. You're like, I don't know about this brother. Read on.
Yet have thou patience with a man in poor estate.
Have patience. That means you got to hear him out. Who is this guy that I'm dealing with? Know that man. Know that he keep the commandments. Then hear him out. Read on.
And delay not to shew him mercy.
So don't delay. Hey, if he deserves the mercy, show the man some mercy. Read on.
Help the poor for the commandment's sake, and turn him not away because of his poverty.
And there you go. Have a little bit of compassion. Have a little bit of mercy. Have a little bit of charity. That's what we still have to do. And yes, we reading this. This is mostly about money. But even on the streets, guess what? We all, I didn't say all, most of us was on the streets before. Some of us would have, because I can imagine, like, I seen other accountants teach. I can imagine I was walking down the street with my wife, and somebody screamed out, some dude screamed out, hey, man, why you got your girl looking like a hoe walking beside you? Yeah. It wouldn't have turned out great. I'm just being honest. That would have been, I would have been one of the dudes that I would have been saying that, hey, man, this dude lost his mind, man, they're shooting at us account. I'm like, no, you lost your compassion. That man don't know nothing about the Bible like that. You don't scream that out to a grown man walking with his girl. He might try to retaliate. Like, what is wrong with you? Compassion fatigue. Or some of it is that they just got too much pride. Count muscles, as they say. That's what we call count muscles. You got them count muscles like, ain't nobody going to mess with me. We rolling 10 deep. Ain't nobody going to mess with me. I'm like, brother, like, go sit down. You ain't teaching no more. Pass out some. I won't even let you pass out flyers. You're going to be like, sit in the car till we done. Like your spirit is all wrong. Let's bring out that well-being need.
The scriptures say, where there is no vision, the people perish.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on I.U.I.C. TV. That's right, I said on I.U.I.C. TV.
Do you know history?
I'm going to show you and prove to you that the Israelites are black, were always black.
Dance for time, just move up your body. Don't get loose and groove on the body. Bruise, wine. Put on the armor, the procedure complete.
Me nah go back, nah retreat. All traitors, every Jezebel must get delete. Me no sleep on a demon, me keep a full clip. Conspire me downfall, cause them want to me slip. Stay close to the real ones, we seal off and legit. Cause I gotta use them to keep your soul from the pit. This a war life, I swear the damn thing.
And this is, if it go into something that all of us experience. I know I experience this sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. I do got a desk job, but sometimes it can be stressful as hell. Scroll down a little bit. Read that. Providing care under heavy workload.
Yes, sir. Providing care under a heavy workload, excessive demands, or long hours.
Hours. You at work all day. When you get home, you're like, I ain't trying to hear nothing from nobody. Yeah. You don't want to hear. You know, the only reason why you even left the house because you feel like you are obligated. Well, in some sense, you are obligated to leave and go handle, it's in the Lord's business. But when you're doing it with a little pouty face, like you just mad as hell. Got Esau on got you because they're gonna. Hey, it is what it is. They're gonna wear us out, man. We all working in that plantation. Give me Daniel 7:25. We all working in that plantation. We doing it together. The only way we gonna get off and we continue to do the work of the Most High, bring the 12 tribes back, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right.
Read it.
Daniel chapter 7 verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints.
He gonna wear us out physically, mentally. We gonna be wore out. They got just think about it. We're doing a class on compassion fatigue. You might be thinking, who in the hell ever had compassion on us? The Most High always had compassion on us. Always had compassion on us. It is on us to have that same compassion for our brothers, show some charity, show some mercy. Right now, just giving you examples of maybe you dealing with it and you don't know you're dealing with it. you don't know. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I know some. I remember one of the brothers passing out flyers. So I was out there with him, and I hear the brother screaming. The brother that he was passing the flyer to screaming at him, "You a racist! You don't love everybody. You trying to separate us?" He's screaming, trying to make a scene. So I walked over there. I wasn't a happy guy at that point. I was like, "Hey, man." I was like, I looked around. You know, I do the Judah look around. When you walk up, you like. I'm like, look, man. It's niggas like you. That's how I started out the conversation. It's niggas like you. And I was pointing him in the face, and I'm short, so I'm like, it's niggas like you that's always trying to call the cops on us. I never seen y'all call the cops when these crackheads over there is standing at the wall. Y'all don't call the cops to stop it. And then you see the dudes get out with their little purses to sell them dope, and you still don't call the cops on them. And you want to stop. I was just going off, and he was like, I just said you was racist. I didn't say. I was like, I went in this whole tirade of just. I'm like, you trying to make a scene in front of this store? I'm like, I'm going off. Then after he got quiet, and we walked off, and he went in the car, just drove off. I was like, because by him saying that, I knew he knew what we teach, right? Because of what he was saying. I like, yeah, and it was close to a place that our school used to be, right across the street from where our school used to be. So I know he know what we teach. Mm-hmm. So I was on fire, just mad as hell. I know a lot of y'all might be like, sure, I would have let it off on him too, but I'm just like, I didn't say anything about it, but I was just like, you are a coon. That's pretty much what I was just explaining to him, like how he's a coon and he's the type of person that's gonna cause us harm. Because at some point, I start losing that compassion. I like people calling the cops on us, trying to get us out the corner of the streets. It's like we way over here in the corner. Like, how did y'all even hear this speaker? One of your customers complained because we told him to get off crack or something. Like, we told him to get his life together, and he went into the store and complained, and then he called the cops. So what happened? That's right. Because that's all we really teach, to try to get our people out of the trauma that they're in. Give me Luke chapter 10. I'm just giving you an example. I know some people probably got worse examples than that. Now, hey, actually, write it in the comments if you got an example. Go to the comments, write your example. Don't make it too long, because, I mean, I ain't gonna read it. You make it too long. But write an example. You got an example. Right, type in it. Especially you nurses, you police officers, you I don't know. What do you call it? What firefighter? What do you call the people that come and talk to the kids and stuff and
Therapist.
social workers. There you go. Social workers. Write in the comments when you was really close to just losing it, had no compassion, because you was like you get sick and tired of it. But read that, and I'm gonna show you how we don't have that much compassion.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 10, and verse 25. And behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? And he said unto him, What is written in the law, how readest thou? And he answering said, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself.
See Christ saying, love thy neighbor as thyself. Read on.
And he said unto him, Thou hast answered right. This do, and thou shalt live.
You're going to get eternal life. If you do it, get eternal life. Read on.
But he, willing to justify himself,
So he want to justify himself. Read on.
said unto Jesus, And who is my neighbor?
He like, man, who is my neighbor? Because you got to understand, it was still that split. We didn't really deal with Northern Kingdom like that. You know, who is my neighbor though? Yeah, he trying to be slick. He trying to, but who is my neighbor? Read on.
Verse 30. And Jesus answering said, A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment and wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead.
So he got beat down and robbed naked from Jerusalem. So it would probably have been somebody from Judah or Benjamin, right? Or either a Levite. You never know. Read on.
And by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side.
He was like, I don't got nothing to do with that. I'm gonna cross the street. I know, hey, we do that today. We see somebody on the other side of the street, look like they probably hurt, and they talking all crazy, and I'm gonna cross the street, man. I don't got nothing to do with that. I don't got the time. You know, for some reason we always don't have time for something. I don't get it. I don't got time for this. That's all we like. What? Like, what you about to do? About to watch TV? That's what we do most of the time. Watch TV. Read on.
And likewise, a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him, and passed by on the other side.
Another Levite did the same thing. So this is the people that you was like, hey, these the leaders and the people. Those guys, Christ knew what he was trying to say. He was like, who is my neighbor? So who is my neighbor? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, all right, so people of your own tribes, you know, the people from Judah or the Jews, they pass him by on the other side. They're like, I don't got nothing to do with this man. Like this, you know, Christ said, love that, you know, well, actually he said it. He said, and love thy neighbor as you love yourself. But read on.
But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was.
So now a Samaritan. Who are the Samaritans? Let's read that in Isaiah 7 and 9. Who are the Samaritans? Okay, he said this, but a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was.
Isaiah chapter 7 and verse 9. And the head of Ephraim is Samaria.
You see that? Ephraim, the northern kingdom. So this Samaritan, Ephraimite or northern kingdom man, came where he was. Read on.
Luke chapter 10 verse 33. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was. And when he saw him, he had compassion on him.
He had what?
Compassion.
So he had compassion. He didn't have that compassion fatigue like the other two men that I don't care. I don't care no more. Cause I'm looking at it like they would have helped some people. They probably, when they was younger in the past, those Levites probably helped the man. He probably helped that man out. Gotta make sure he good. That's my brother. Gotta make sure he good. You walk by the street again, I'm gonna make sure he good. Walk by the street, I'm gonna make sure she's good. Make sure he good. Now at the point you're like, man, these people ain't gonna never get it right. I don't got nothing to do with that. I don't got no time. Just cross the street, act like I didn't see it. That's what's gonna. You like, I'm tired of this mess. It got so bad for us. We got evil brothers. Like, I'd rather be with the heathen. That's what it's saying in Maccabees. Since we departed from the heathen, we've been doing bad. Brother has no faith at all. But read on.
and went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn and took care of him.
So he bandaged them up, made sure he fixed up his wounds with oil and water, put him on his beast, and took him to the inn so he can have somewhere, a bed to lay down on, so he can heal up. That's what the Samaritan did, the northern kingdom, because we always had a problem. You had the Jews and you had Israel, the northern kingdom. And man was like, who is my neighbor? He's showing them who your neighbor is. Guess what? Northern kingdom back in it. Because I'm here. I can forgive you for your sins. But that's one of the things we got to understand. We need to show each other more compassion, especially around the brothers. Because some of us been around each other for a while. And you'll be amazed at how we'll treat each other. I'm talking about brothers. When I mean a while, like, to me, being around a brother that you see a lot, I ain't gonna say you see them all every day, but you see them a lot for 7 or 8 years, y'all should know each other. It should be some compassion there. You know what I'm saying? I have seen brothers no compassion whatsoever. None. I'd be like, yo, what is wrong with you, man? Where your mercy at? You're like, do you love your brother, man? You know what I'm saying? Do you love your brother like you love on yourself? That's what Christ said. You need that to get to the kingdom. You need to know those laws concerning that. Make it to the kingdom. All right, so where we at?
Verse 35.
Let's go to John 5.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to John 5 and 1. And then we're going to close it out. I don't know how long we've been there. It seems like we've been about an hour, but. All right, so it's been that long. Give me John 5, 1 through 9.
This is the book of John, chapter 5, verse 1. After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches. And these lay a great multitude of impotent folk.
So it's where the sick people come to. Sick people having ailments, they come to this place. Right? Read on.
Of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water.
So when the water would move. But it's going to explain itself. I ain't going to stop it. Read on.
For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. Whosoever, when first after the troubling of the water stepped in, was made whole of whatsoever disease he had.
So they gathered there because they knew that if they can get in that water first, they would be healed. But you got to understand this. I don't know the season of when the water moves, right? I don't know the season. But you would think people with ailments that's not that bad, that let's say somebody was coughing blood, but you're blind. Me personally, as just a blind man, and I'm feeling good, I just can't see. I'm like, brother, you coughing blood, you might want to get in that moving water. Show some compassion. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. That's just me. I'm just looking at it from what we just read. maybe the brothers that ain't doing so bad, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, I don't know. It's just me, man. Maybe, I just have an upset stomach. Man. I got an upset stomach, you know what I'm saying? But I can run pretty fast. So I know I'm going to get in this water first. You know what I'm saying? But the other people dealing with stuff, that, they can't walk that good. They're dealing with some ailments and stuff that they can't get over that somebody had to take them. Mm-hmm. I'm getting there first, man. My stomach hurt. That's how these people are. And you're going to explain it, so read on. Watch this.
Verse 5, and a certain man was there, which had an infirmity 38 years.
38 years. Most of y'all ain't 38 years old now. That might be listening, tuning in. You ain't 30 years old. For 38 years, nobody said, you know what? I just got a little bit of a headache. Let this man get in that water and he can be healed. 38 years. That means it was people there that knew this man. They probably knew this man for 40 years. And they did not get him in that water first. That's how sad that it can be when you have compassion fatigue. That person that don't deserve that, how can you put it? The person that don't deserve to be waved off, like, move, man, you crazy, man. Not everybody just crazy. That person that actually trying to do better, they're going to get pushed to the side because you don't have any compassion anymore. Your compassion is gone. But let's see what they was doing. We're going to read verse 6.
Verse 6. When Jesus saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, wilt thou be made whole?
See, Christ, our Lord and Savior, he had compassion on the guy. He looked at him like, whoa, you been out here for that long? You want to be made whole? Read on.
The impudent man answered him, Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool.
He said, I don't have no caregiver. And I don't know, how some people, when they be at that point in their life, they can be for lack of a better word, complete assholes sometimes. The people that, they lost their leg, something wrong with them. Some of them people, they're not that nice of people. So he said that I didn't have no man, I had no caregiver. People probably like, oh man, this dude get on my nerves. I ain't messing with him like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how, you get treated a certain way. So all you that out there that feel like people don't show you no compassion, sometimes you got to check yourself too. You might be the cause of them having no compassion for you, having no mercy for you. But read on.
But while I'm coming, another steppeth down before me. Jesus said unto him, Rise, take up thy bed and walk.
Now, if Christ saying that, this dude was not like that. You get what I'm saying? This dude was a regular guy amongst his own people for over 38 years. He like, nobody put me in the water. Yeah. Nobody will take care of me. When I try to get down there, somebody else get in there first. For 38 years. Christ said, you know what? Take up your bed, man, and walk. Christ showed him compassion. And we got to have some level of compassion. And I ain't talking about just going out and just helping people that doing random stuff. Even when you're amongst your brothers, like, have some level of compassion. Your brother's going to make mistakes. Some of them going to make mistakes a lot. Because some of our brothers coming in the truth, they never been put to task. They never been put up to do something on a regular basis. They don't know what that's like. You gotta build your brothers up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta build your brothers up. Get James 2:8. Then we're gonna close it out. Build your brothers up. Make sure they good and show some compassion. Don't get all frustrated and mad. Make sure your brother's good. Read.
This is the book of James, chapter 2, and verse 8. If ye fulfill the royal law according to the scripture, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, ye do well.
Love your neighbor as you love yourself. You do not want to be judged based off somebody else doing, so have some compassion. Do righteous judgment. And that's all I got for today. So make sure you put the comments below. I want to see if somebody gonna put a comment below where they know they kind of overstep themselves. They show no compassion. But hey, shalom, Most High Christ bless. Hope y'all got something from this class. Study, pray, apply.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, His word,